hot comic book movie news. Defenders of the Earth. Defenders. The Weekly Planet. The Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows.
Another episode of the Weekly Planet.
Did I not say that?
You didn't say that.
Okay,
I'll
well-
edit that. We'll edit that in.
Yeah, that's gonna
Let
be
it me say.
seamless.
Welcome back to another episode of it. We'll do that.
Great, I love that. With movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday, and with me, as always, that's my co-host Nick Mason.
It's great to be here.
Jumping in at the absolute right time
That's right, exactly.
to make sure everything is on track.
I think so too. We're having a lovely time.
We are, aren't we?
For people, just in the interest of full disclosure,
Yeah,
I have had a migraine. It's still tinkling away in the back of my head.
yeah.
So if, James, you say something and listeners out there are like, wow, Meso really missed an absolute layup of a joke there. It's because I have a migraine.
That's right.
And if you've ever listened to anything we've ever done and I've missed an absolute layup of a joke, it's because I had this migraine, just so you know.
You're talking anything, any YouTube video.
Almost anything,
There
yeah.
was an obvious joke or metaphor that we missed, for
Yeah.
example. Okay, cool.
You met me in real life
Yeah,
and I just walked away. It's because I had a migraine.
because you came up to him.
Yeah, I met somebody today. I was in a shop, and they said I was buying something, and they said, "What are you up to today after this?" And I go,
Said none of your business.
I said absolutely nothing, and then they said, "Oh, just so you know, are you Meso from the Weekly Planet?" And I said yes, and I should have said, "Well, actually, just so you know, I'm going to be recording a podcast after this." But
But you're not going to say that to like just a person who might not know you do a podcast.
one might not know what podcasts are.
Yeah, absolutely. I met a lovely listener this week as well, Noah, came up and said hello. Which was
Helloa.
very
A
kind.
helloa from Noah.
That's right. It's very kind words. And he was very nice. So that's cool. It's cool to meet people.
It's cool to meet people.
Yeah. You can say hi to us.
Yeah. I mean, not unless I have a migraine and you don't know about
Yeah,
it. And don't dare approach
I might
me.
be on edge. You know,
Yeah.
I might be just at breaking point, and you hit me at a really bad time.
Yeah, and you'll hit them in a really bad place. They're nuts.
That's right. No, we're very friendly. Probably
We're very friendly. You know where I was very friendly? On an episode of Do Go On this week.
Tell me about it.
Well, Dave was away for some reason.
Yeah,
Away. He loves going away, that guy.
probably a pie thing.
You think he had a pie, yeah. He went away to get a pie, I think.
Typical.
So I slithered in
Under the door. Yeah.
under the door and I said, hey, remaining guys that Do Go On.
Yep.
Matt and Jess, can I be on this episode? And they said yes. So we talked about that time there was a whale all washed up on a beach and they blew it up with dynamite. Spoiler
Incredible.
alert, but we get into all the messy details.
Yeah.
It's good times.
I mean, it worked, didn't it?
No.
I mean, they blew it up.
I mean, they did, but it didn't work.
I mean, it worked.
I mean,
They blew it up.
yeah. I mean, it worked in the sense that it gave us content decades later for a podcast.
Thank you.
And I think that's cool.
I completely agree. All right, so this week on the Weekly Planet podcast, a show we do every week.
I love that.
There's time codes below if you want to jump to anything. But we're going to talk about the passing of Arleen Sorkin.
Oh.
We're going to talk about the latest updates of the strike proposals, and some of the people involved in that, the studio heads, they're not having a good time of it. Which
Interesting.
makes me have a great time. We're talking more delays.
You know, sometimes that would make me think that perhaps sometimes when you're not having a good time, maybe people are having a good time about that.
Oh,
you ever think about
I
that?
hope that's not true.
Because when you're pointing your fingers at someone, you're pointing other fingers back at you.
Am I?
Yeah.
That's great.
Sometimes you're like this.
That's a visual gag.
It's a
basically.
very visual gag. But I'm pointing one hand at you, and then I'm just pointing another hand directly
Now
back
you've
at
ruined
me.
the joke for me and everybody else.
That's what I do. I've got a migraine, all right?
We're going to talk about the runtime of Captain Marvel, which got a sort of trailer. No, The Marvels, which got a sort of trailer this week.
Okay.
We're going to talk a new box office record shattered, and it's not Barbie.
Whoa.
We're going to talk about news on The Batman Part 2. We're going to talk about how James Gunn is probably getting fired again.
Oh, wow. On the trash heap with Kathleen Kennedy.
That's right. Some old Facebook posts of
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, okay, right.
And then we're
Cancelled James Gunn.
etc. Then we're finally going to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem,
Yeah.
a movie that is out on streaming.
What an opportune time. So for people who don't know, it was out in America for ages, and normally in Australia we get a movie at roughly the same time, sometimes even earlier, like
Yeah.
a day earlier. But this time around, we didn't get it for weeks.
Yeah.
But fortunately, there's advanced screenings in Australia this week, right at about the time that it's coming on streaming in the US.
Yeah.
So by the time it actually officially comes out in Australia, everybody who wants to watch it will have watched it on a torrent and will not watch it in the cinemas in Australia.
Paramount Pictures, you are lucky that I have a child. You are lucky.
Yeah.
And you're lucky Mason can't use a computer.
That's right. And I love sticky carpet. I love that noise my shoes make on it.
Ooh, it's good, isn't it? I love how you drop your phone behind the seat and you're just like, let it go.
I was due
about
for a new phone anyway. I mean, I just got this phone, but I'm due for a new one. I didn't like the color.
So Arleen Sorkin has passed away at age 67 after a long battle with multiple sclerosis. Now, if you don't know, she is probably most famously known for a couple of things, but the voice of Harley Quinn, the original voice.
Yeah, the voice and also the design, the inspiration, the mannerisms, the look. Like she was, when they were putting together the Batman animated series, they were like, yeah, bring Arleen on and we'll base the entire character off her.
It goes a little deeper than that even, Mason.
Whoa.
If you don't mind.
I do.
So originally Harley Quinn was just going to be like a walk-on role. It's like Joker's got a girlfriend or whatever,
Yeah, so she
him and Batman are not gay. He has a girlfriend. Like it was probably
exactly,
that kind of thing. Yeah.
It's only Batman that's gay.
Yes.
Joker is not. So the original idea, I think, for Harley Quinn was that there was originally going to be a scene where the Joker bursts out of a cake.
Yeah.
But they were like, it sort of removes his menace if he jumps out of a cake.
Yeah.
So they're like, what if you had a Harley Quinn-like sidekick who jumps out of the cake instead? And people
Lo and behold.
Yeah, lo and behold.
And Paul Dini, who was one of the minds behind that series, he said, after seeing his colleague and friend his college friend Arleen Sorkin play a jester in a dream sequence in the soap opera Days of Our Lives. She did 427 episodes of Days of Our Lives, by the way.
Oh.
She was a series regular and then would pop back in every few years. Dini decided to have her voice Harley Quinn. So, and as you said, brought in aspects of like her mannerisms, and specifically she was very snappy, wisecracking, and a bubbly blonde personality. She eventually stepped away from the role in 2011 due to health issues, and Tara Strong, and I mean other people have voiced the character since.
Kelly Cuoco for the series.
But yeah, like she was the one that kicked everything off. And there's a tweet here from Mark Hamill, who obviously played the Joker. He said, devastated to learn we've lost the brilliant Arleen Sorkin, not just a wonderful talent, but a truly wonderful person. I'm grateful not only to have worked with her, but to have been her friend, sending my heartfelt condolences to her family and loved ones. So yeah, I mean, just what an incredible character that is still around that she, had a massive hand in crafting entirely. Like if she didn't exist, that character would be nothing, or would have just popped up and disappeared. It's a very good chance.
We'd be forced to watch Joker and Batman : Boyfriends.
Oh, damn
the
it.
animated series.
They could still make that.
They could still make that, I think.
I would love that. So there you go. Let's move on to other news.
I have some other news.
Oh, let's do other news.
This is very fun, uplifting news. This is from the AV Club. Disney Plus won't air its already completed Spiderwick Chronicles show.
Oh, yeah, there's a couple shows that got cancelled.
Yeah.
One was Spiderwick and one was another thing.
Yeah. But it had Christian Slater in it, apparently, and probably some children.
Chrissy Slater?
Some child actors. They'd already filmed it, and they just went, it's cancelled. Don't worry about it.
So now they're taking things off streaming before they even get there. Now. Wow, incredible.
The window narrowed. Didn't they have a movie? I can't remember what it's called, but it was like a space exploration movie.
Yeah,
was it Craters or something?
Something like that.
And it was on there for like 5 weeks. And they're like, nah.
They took it off before you could finish watching it.
Yeah. You started it up on Disney Plus and the little countdown timer popped up and it's like, that's less than the runtime of the movie. How am I going to do this?
Double speed, no sound, I guess.
Well, the timer is going down faster. I don't understand.
That is wild. I mean, they would have crunched the numbers, and I know we've talked about before. I think Disney were looking to save like $8 billion this year? I can't remember the specific number. So they would have gone, well, this won't bring in the amount of subscribers that we need. So we feel it's more cost effective to cancel it. Now, they probably also looked at Willow, which didn't do super well as well. It's not Marvel, it's not Star Wars, so why bother?
Yeah, but I mean, and look, and this was a YA series published in 2003, so this is way out of our...
Yeah, I mean, there was a movie as well at one point,
But, I imagine there was a big fan base for this.
No doubt.
And I think also, not only that, imagine being a kid actor and this is your first major role and everybody's like, oh, is he going to be on Disney Plus? This is going to be incredible. I mean, and they're just like, no, actually never.
It's really not uncommon for like pilots to not air, or you do one and then it disappears. But like to do a whole series and bin it is like, that's very unusual. Strange times.
But cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool.
It is cool.
It's nothing cooler than what's just happening right now.
My other one bit of news.
Yeah. Oh, so you got two bits of news?
Yeah, I got 2 bits of news. We didn't mention this previously, but did you watch the trailer for Ferrari?
Yes, I did, with Adam Driver.
Which is Ferrari's first solo movie.
Do you think they cast him because his name's Adam Driver? Imagine if his name was Adam Driver Ferrari. He
James-
probably would have got the role even faster. So you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe...
Or maybe they wouldn't. They would have been two on the nose.
Two on the nose.
Yeah.
Well, James, you stepped on my joke, which was going to be Ferrari's first solo movie after Ford versus Ferrari.
That's good.
You know?
I mean, they're not the same jokes.
No, they're different jokes.
Yeah. So if anything, you've done a joke which, probably didn't have as big a response as my joke.
That's true.
Because I remember you laughing raucously.
I cackled maniacally because his name actually is Adam Driver, a thing that I hadn't considered.
Yeah, anyway, look, it's, who is it? Michael Mann's
It is
latest
Michael
movie,
Mann.
right?
Yeah,
So
that's right.
cool. Yeah.
And as I understand it, Neon, which is the distributor, has just agreed to all the strikers' demands, and so
They can promote it.
they can promote it. So Adam Driver went out in a car.
Did he?
But then he went to a venue.
Okay.
And to a press conference. And
He didn't walk.
No.
Yeah. He'd have a long stride, wouldn't he? Anyway, go on, sorry.
Should call him Adam Strider.
Do you think? Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Michael Mann in a car.
Sometimes.
Sometimes in a car. And Adam Driver basically said, I'm here as a visual representation of...
How big I am.
Yeah, it is big. That's Strider
Yeah.
on there, man. They should call him Adam Strider. But as a visual representation of distributors and studios acceding to demands, and so this is how you can actually get stuff done.
I hope it does really well then. Yeah, even if it's terrible. Which I don't think it will be. Because Michael Mann, he makes a good movie.
Yeah, it looks intense.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. I wonder if it's going to be as good as PlayStation commercial 2023.
Doubtful.
Yeah, it was good.
Because this is about a guy who was like, what if we made cars really fast and cool?
Yep.
But which is fine.
That's
But
fine.
Gran Turismo Sony commercial is about what if a gamer became a racer.
Yeah.
And it was based on a true story.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
They
should call him Gary Gamer Racer.
They should.
Yeah.
I still haven't looked into what parts of that are real. I have no idea.
But you've seen it. You saw it.
seen
You
it,
did see it. Okay.
Yeah. I saw it in a shaky chair cinema. You know, when the chairs like
In
rumble.
the D-Box, did
I
you
saw it
for
in the-
real?
Yeah, the D, whatever
Does
it's called.
does that cost extra?
Yeah, it did actually.
How much extra?
I don't know. I had some points, so not that
Yeah,
much
okay,
extra.
right.
But yeah, I wasn't happy about it.
Yeah.
I wanted the full racing experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've got a couple of employees. They've got a couple of cinema employees. They have like branches. They swat you in the face with them.
Absolutely. Now, last week, us, but specifically you, completely botched an explanation for a table that we
here we
talked
go.
about.
Here we
Look,
go.
It was me, okay? It was me. I'll admit it. You've held my feet to the fire for long enough. So basically the chart was highlighting the cost of the WGA proposals, and I put it in as a last-minute thing, and I think I glanced at it and went, yeah, I can probably do this. And then, looking back, obviously that's something I should have looked at properly. And often I do with all of this strike stuff. I read extensively about it. That was a last-minute addition, and it's something that I will probably do again, but I'll try not to.
If we could summarize that, would you say excuses?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Definitely. If we could summarize that, that would be exactly what it
Wow.
is. Here's a great explanation, though, from Nation of Eagles, who tweeted out. He said, hey, Mr. Sunday Movies, I think there was some confusion over the chart on the last pod. Annual cost here isn't like the studio's annual total expenses, but rather just what the WGA's demands would cost, a fraction of 1%.
I see.
Just felt that there was some confusion, wanted to help. That was incredibly helpful. Thank you. Because you've actually concisely talked about exactly what that chart is.
That's wonderful.
So, yeah. Basically,
Because I think also because it's important to know there's no need to like fudge the numbers here.
No.
You know what I mean? Because it's not like, well, if you actually look at accurate numbers, it's actually completely a difference. No, it's the same. It's essentially the same story.
here's the thing also, right? Let's say these numbers are wrong. Right?
Okay.
Let's say
They are.
Let's say they're wrong by that actually the studio loses money by paying people properly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that to me says that your business is fucked and you don't know what you're doing. And under capitalism, that means your business should fold because it's bad because it operates
James,
at a loss.
James. The government should bail them out.
Oh yeah, sorry. The government should.
The government should cut essential services from their own citizens and bail out some rich guys. That's capitalism,
That
baby.
is also capitalism. You're right. So just this idea that if they are hurting as much as they say they are, which they're fucking not, then you're bad at this, and you need to either reassess everything or shut it down.
And you know what? Seems to be working.
Yeah, it does.
Based on some stuff I've been hearing this week.
Mason, you're gonna love this.
Yes?
I've just got a headline here that says CEO's baffled. All right,
Great.
This is by a deadline. So amid growing speculation of internal divisions, so the strike's been going for what, 125 days, something like that?
At least.
Yeah. Amid growing speculation of internal divisions with the C-suites. Suits? S-U-I-T-S. Sweeties?
The sweeties, the C-sweeties, yes.
And a lack of apparent path forward to end the writers and actors strikes. The chief of Hollywood's biggest studios are set to gather today, and that was on Wednesday. That was
All the
previous
sweeties
Wednesday.
in one place?
That's right. So it's Disney's Dana Walden and Alan Bergman, Amazon Studios' Mike Hopkins and Jennifer Solkay, Netflix's Ted Sarandos, Universal's Donna Langley, and Warner Brothers Discovery's our boy David Zaslav.
That's right.
Big D, as we like to call him.
The most normal man in the world.
Bob Iger is not going to attend because apparently he wants to keep some distance to be ready for the appropriate time to get more directly engaged. Okay,
James, that's so many sweeties. It might as well be a box of Quality Street. Famous sweeties.
Famous, very famous. So Ted Sarandos from Netflix, he lectured the WGA leaders at a gathering last week.
He lectured
about
them.
how they had to take the latest offer. But now, one of the quotes from the article is, this is a bunch of insider information, now these leaders only have themselves to blame for how bad things look. In particular, thin-skinned Iger and Zaslav are stunned, according to one insider, that they've been so vilified by the guild and its members over the past 7 months. I'd imagine they're just seeing the backlash to this, how people are just like, you can't PR interview out of this. You got to do something.
Because I think they hired
people don't buy this shit.
They hired a new PR firm quite recently, and they paid somebody like $300,000 for it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, and also I imagine that a lot of these guys, for the most part, are completely insulated from public comment and opinions, and they're surrounded by yes men.
Yeah.
And when anybody goes, hey, when they go, hey, do you think we're doing a good job? The yes men say,
you seem to be. Yes.
You're fired.
Damn.
Yeah.
I would not last.
That's right.
Because I hesitated?
You hesitated for even a moment.
Yeah.
And now and it's the same with that Elon Musk guy.
Yeah.
Like they don't.
When they come in public, people are like, boo.
Yeah.
I'm a normal person and boo.
And boo, exactly, yeah.
So apparently they're worried about a dry spell in relation to the calendar. And also the reason why a lot of this isn't going forward is because they're all the big swinging Ds of Hollywood.
Yep.
They're not all on the same page in regards to negotiation because they're all used to doing things their own way. So they're worried not only about what comes next, like after the strike, but also they're all competing with each other normally.
Yeah.
Because they're all competitors. They all run rival media companies.
But at a certain point, they'll all be competing for
who can get in the bin.
Well, yeah, who can get in the bin, first of all. But also at some point, I think they're going to realize, if we strike first here, if we make the deal first, all the talent is going to go to us, and then we'll have a lead of like 2 years.
Great point.
Because all the, if we say, okay, we'll give you all demands, we'll give you all your demands, we'll give you, residuals and the to do with writers' rooms and et cetera, and everybody jumps on board, then they've got, a bunch of people making pilots for them and et cetera.
Exactly.
So, and then the other guys will be like,
maybe I should have done something.
Yeah.
This isn't going to go well. It's not going well. Like, they're going to have to come to the table with something. Like, they're being outlasted here, and nobody really is on their side. There's people who are like, well,
I am.
Okay, so you are.
Yeah.
You're actually a good example of somebody who is on their side.
That's right.
I didn't realize.
That's right.
that.
Yeah.
I know that people are like, well, shut down Hollywood, whatever, everything's whatever. Yeah, I know those people exist, but most people are just like, maybe just pay properly.
Yeah.
And it's simple as that. They talked about this week how they had to come up what jobs they had to axe. They had to axe a bunch of jobs this week. But the headline is like, you had to axe a bunch of jobs because you've stopped production. You have stopped, like they have stopped it.
That's true.
They were, this is how it works. Anyway, delays.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Here's a section of the show. It's via THR. X-Men 97, the animated sequel to the X-Men 90s show. It's moved from autumn of 2023 or spring if you're in the southern hemisphere.
I'm not.
Which some of the best people are. Sorry. Mason's a good example of somebody who's not currently in the southern hemisphere.
That's correct.
That's moving to early 2024.
I'm recording from the Bahamas, baby.
It's a tax dodge.
Yeah.
Echo, the TV series, which is the spin-off of, what was that? Hawkeye? She was in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
That moves from November 29th to January 2024. Agatha Darkhold Diaries, which has had another name change, is moving from winter 2023 to Halloween of 2024.
Whoa, that's appropriate.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's something from Can We Get Some Toast on Twitter. Even though Ironheart has finished shooting and was set to release in fall of 2023, it's been taken off Marvel's release schedule entirely. Sources say that brings it closer to Armor Wars. It's being told that Marvel wants to go full steam ahead with Armor Wars production post-strike, with presumably real Rhodey and not Skrull Rhodey.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So there you go.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, Ironheart was the notable omission there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that best case scenario is the thing you outlined, which is they're moving it closer to the release of Armor Wars. Worst case scenario is they're like, we don't want to release this anymore.
Yeah,
we've
it
done
might be.
We've done the Batgirl thing. We've crunched the numbers a la Batgirl, and it's not worth releasing anymore, so it's gone.
It's possible. I think also they're moving things out because they need to fill gaps next year. They don't have anything. Yeah. Nothing is moving at the moment. So,
I'd recommend some bloody Sellies, No More Gaps.
Oh, yeah. Is that what you recommend?
Yep.
That's a good example of something to recommend. Mason, the Marvels had a little trailer behind-the-scenes thing this week. Looked pretty fun.
I didn't see it, but I saw some stills.
That's cool. That's all you need to know. But here's another thing from Can We Get Some Toast on Twitter, who confirmed a report
Who's this? Who's your mate?
He's a Scoop. He's not my mate. We're not mates.
Huh, interesting.
We just hang out all the time.
He said you guys are mates.
He said that.
Yeah.
It's not true. Make sure he knows that we're not mates. All right? You just shoot him an email. This is confirmed. He confirmed.
I'll just lean over to the next deck chair. Can I get some toast? Yeah, no, he says
you're
you're
not
not
gonna like
mates.
this,
Yeah.
Confirmed a report by Cryptic for Qual, who says that the Marvels with credits is 138 minutes. So coming in at around 133 minutes, which makes it the shortest Marvel movie ever. The next shortest is The Incredible Hulk at an hour 52.
Wait, you said 138 minutes. Do you mean
Sorry,
an hour and
1 hour. So I said that wrong. 1 hour. I've actually written it the right way, just so you know. 1 hour and 38 minutes.
That's brisk.
Apparently it's, some people have said, I think maybe even it was Toast, a good friend of mine.
Yes.
He said,
Stephen Toast.
Stephen Toast, yeah. That it's all killer, no filler or whatever, which I hope is the case.
Yeah, me too.
I would a brisk, like just wall-to-wall great stuff.
Space
movie.
adventure,
My
cracking
God,
pace.
I would love that.
I would love that also.
Yeah. I hope it's that.
Yeah.
And not just like, can we salvage this?
Yeah.
But I guess we'll find out whenever that comes out. This year probably, unless they move it. I think it's November.
They might move it.
Yeah, so there you go. That's coming up.
It's coming up. I want the world to
know. Well, also they won't, if the strikes aren't going, they can't promote it. We've seen that's
true, yeah.
It's bad news. You kind of need people.
Unless they convince somebody that it's an independent production.
Well, they could do that,
At which point they're probably allowed to do it.
Yeah.
They get a waiver.
Yeah. I'm sure they've thought of that. I'm sure they've definitely considered that.
Iman Vellani gets like an email that's like, "Hey Iman, you're the producer of this now. We've created an LLC in your name and we've transferred it all over to you, and the IRS is coming for you.
You will be arrested after the premiere." There's a book.
But you love comics, right?
Yeah,
love comics.
Oh, she wrote a new Ms.
Yeah,
Marvel
she did.
comic,
That's true.
which is pretty cool. How cool is that? Has that ever happened before? Somebody who is a character then writes the comic?
I bet it has. Well, I mean, there's been a few, like, if we're not including like those projects that are built to make a movie property later, like Berserker, which was Keanu Reeves' one. I think he had story input on that.
Yeah.
But who's to say? I'm sure they have. I bet they
showed Keanu the art and he went,
whoa.
No, he went, okay.
Interesting.
Sometimes he says, okay. He doesn't always have to say, whoa, Mason.
Well, he did in this case.
Yeah, maybe he did. He said it one time. It's not the only thing he does. Anyway, go on. What were you saying?
Ryan Reynolds. We'd know if Ryan Reynolds had written a Deadpool or something.
He might have, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I reckon there definitely has been.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of it. If you know, let us know.
Let us know.
Anyway, box office record time. Now, we saw that Barbie this week has become Warner Brothers' biggest project ever.
That's right.
And the lesson in that is obviously toys. That's
toys.
That's what they've taken from that. But another record this week is that Deadline are reporting that Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour concert film, has clocked in a mind-blowing 26 million in pre-sales within its first 24 hours. That beat the previous first-day pre-sales, which was for Spider-Man No Way Home, which did 16.9 million.
Wow.
So it beat it quite a lot. The other thing is, this is only for AMC, apparently.
Yes, the story behind this is apparently that Taylor Swift's production team went to various studios and said,
we're coming up.
We want the world to know.
Yeah.
But they absolutely lowballed her. They're like, well,
really?
They were like, we'll take most of the profit or whatever. And so they sort of went around the studios.
Yeah.
And were like, they went to the president of AMC and were just like, can we do an exclusive thing? And so she's getting, or the Taylor Swift team are getting like a phenomenal amount of money for this. So
wow.
Yeah.
And there's a lesson in that probably.
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. So anyway, I might even go to. I'll probably take my kids. Because I probably won't. I can't go to the actual concert because it'll probably be too busy for me. Mason,
Yes.
got some more news here.
Okay. I'm looking at a list of comic books. 10 celebrities who've written awesome comic books.
Kevin Smith. He's done a Blunt Man and Chronic,
I
probably.
bet he has.
Umbrella Academy.
CM Punk apparently wrote some Thor stories. He's recently been fired from AEW
He
wrestling.
got in a fight.
Yeah, something I don't know.
But I think he got in a fight, but not where he was supposed to.
Outside of the ring.
Yeah, outside of the ring,
Interesting.
yeah. And not like where he's like, I got a chair, I'm sort of in the audience, but like I think it was
Yeah. Rosario Dawson wrote Occult Crimes Task Force in 2006.
Oh, okay.
Bill Hader and Seth Meyers wrote Spider-Man: The Short Halloween. Gerard Way famously, of course, did Umbrella Academy.
What's Spider-Man: The Short Halloween? I've never heard of that.
It's a joke one, apparently.
Oh. Well, apparently it's good.
There you go. John Cleese. Now, there's none of these are actors.
No. John Cleese is an actor. Idiot.
He is an actor. That's true. And I am an idiot.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Mark Hamill wrote a script called The Black Pearl, which was a superhero script. Didn't get made, so he turned it into comic books.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
There it is. And Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith is at the number one. Anyway, bad results there, everybody.
Agreed.
No good.
That was awful.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, but you know what's not awful?
What's that?
It's a bit of Batman news we're about to do, but instead of that, just beforehand, we did a commentary for The Flash.
Oh, yeah.
BigSandwich.co. The new movie, The Flash, we talked about
Yes.
over it. And let me tell you, it's as good as I remember it, as in bad.
Let me tell you this, folks. At one point, James made a comment, and then he said, "Oh, this is great." And he didn't say it sarcastically. He said it genuinely.
Did I?
And then you went, "Oh no, I didn't mean to say that. It's bad."
I'm a hater, I forgot.
Yeah.
Which one was that? I don't
I don't know. I
remember.
can't remember where it was, but it's
God.
in there, folks.
God damn.
Find that.
No, there is some good stuff in it. I agree.
great stuff. You said.
No, I doubt it. We have to sign up to know. So yeah, that's at BigSandwich.co if you are interested. But this is via My Time to Shine Hello on Twitter, who says the Batman Part 2 is to film in March of 2024 and Clayface is to be involved. We've heard that before.
Love that.
Which Clayface, who knows? The actor, the Clayman, some version of in between. I don't
This
know.
is great stuff because if that is true, we don't know. Is it going to be just a regular man Clayface?
Yep.
It's going to be a guy in a clay mask. Is it going to be a full magical clay monster guy?
Absolutely.
We don't know. It's exciting. Which way would you rather it go?
I would kind of like him some supernatural elements.
Okay, great.
Or maybe a Clay Aiken movie. That'd be good too.
Who's that again?
He was on American Idol for a
There
time.
you go.
Maybe
Right.
the first one or the second one.
Yeah.
I had to Google that because I couldn't remember his name.
Okay.
But I Googled it and I'm glad I did. It's good to
That was
nail
lightning
it.
fast.
It's good to nail it.
You nailed that. You nailed it. Wow.
So, yeah, and the other thing is, apparently My Time to Shine was asked, what else do you know about it? And
Wait,
he's-
James?
Yeah?
I've thought of one.
Okay. You just said you thought of one.
Yeah, but now
you're
I've got
pausing.
to find. I've got a migraine, all right?
Oh, I'm going to migraine.
Batman's going to fight crime real hard. Lee Harding
Lee Harding?
from Australian Idol.
Oh, yeah, is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. Wasabi.
Yeah, he did the song Wasabi.
Yeah,
I
he
know.
did. Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
I hope he's well.
I
I hope he's well in whatever bank he works at. Mason, apparently he's my Time to Shine Hello said, I know Robin is in it, brackets Dick Grayson.
Huh.
I've talked about this before. We've talked about this before. I hope it's a boy. Because it's way worse.
Well, I think, it is way worse. I think I saw a quote recently allegedly from Robert Pattinson who said he's got to be like, if he's going to be in it, he's got to be like 13, 14.
Yeah.
Because that is the level at which him fighting crime is really dangerous and bad and stupid.
Yeah.
You know?
And like a 13-year-old could hurt some people if he had some
That's true.
weapons.
That's
you
true.
know? But like a 6-year-old could not for the most part.
That's true.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I love it.
If it starts filming.
That sounds
It
cool.
might. Yeah, hopefully it does because that one was good. I don't care what you say. The first Batman movie, The Batman.
No,
good
I said it
movie.
was good.
No, I don't care what you said. It is good.
That's fair. Yep.
Yeah, good.
Mm-hmm.
This one just says, what are we doing? This bit of news. Fire James Gunn again. That's happening.
That's right.
Probably trended or whatever.
Yeah, now, so what happened here, if I recall, is that someone unearthed some old James Gunn Facebook posts.
Ollie, relax. They're just old Facebook
We're
posts.
just talking about James Gunn. You don't have to... We know you want to cancel James Gunn.
Is she
Ollie.
pro firing James Gunn?
I think
know
so,
that.
yeah.
Fair enough.
You have to understand the context, Ollie, because at this point he was probably part of Troma.
Yeah.
He was saying edgy stuff.
This was pre-Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's right. He's got, in the profile photos, he's got black hair.
Crazy.
Young James Gunn.
Young and angry James Gunn.
That's right. But anyway, This is probably less controversial than the last time he got cancelled.
Probably.
This time he said he was having opinions about DC's Batman movies.
Yeah.
He was saying, well, Burton's Batman movie not very good.
Yep.
Did he say something
I've got
about
some quotes here.
Yeah, please.
I could just read them all.
You read them all.
So this is pre-2012, and we know that because it was pre The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, so if you could read them,
Yeah.
and then let me know you finished, and then I'll say cancelled.
Oh,
If I think he should
I thought
be
you were going to say
cancelled for it.
Gangnam Style because that's from 2012, and then that puts
Oh,
us
that would be nice.
in the era.
Gundam style?
Yeah, the Gangnam
like James
Style's
Gunn.
fine.
Like
That's
James
good.
Gunn.
Yeah, that's
okay.
great.
I'll combine the two.
Yeah,
Very
do
subtly.
it. Yeah. So Keaton did have a ridiculous voice. That said, I'd put up with a ridiculous voice than with horrible action sequences and acting barely worthy of the Batman TV show. I have no idea how you can think that the Burton Batman has more similarities with Moore or Miller's Batman and Joker than Nolan's does. And listen, I have problems with both the Nolan films. I don't think either one is classic, and I don't even really think Batman Begins is good. Oh my God. But they're far superior to the first Batman. None of your defenses get to the fact that, despite being the first cinematic dark take on Batman, also brackets, so what? Stallone's Judge Dredd was the first dark take on Judge Dredd. The movie is awful.
You're done there, James?
Yeah.
It sounds to me like James Gunn has been cancelled, Gundam style.
Absolutely, he has, yeah.
Oh.
There's more.
Yeah,
Should we
great.
do more?
Yeah. I want to say
problems.
my catchphase again.
Okay. I have problems with both of Nolan's films. I know I said that one. But I prefer the first Batman. The Tim Burton Batman movie is poorly written. The soundtrack is the worst work of everyone involved.
I agree.
And it's absolutely one of the most boring films ever. So I think the Prince stuff is like not good in that.
I agree,
But
yeah.
what about the Elfman stuff?
Oh, yeah, no, well, it's got the iconic Elfman
Yeah.
Batman theme, so yeah.
Not only that, but the reveal of the Joker as the killer of Bruce Wayne's parents spits in the face of Batman's origin and is a nullification of the bottomless thirst for vengeance that necessarily drives Batman. It pretends not to be campy, but is completely so. That is something we agree with.
Yeah,
It is like it's goth camp.
But I think what you've failed to factor in here, James, is that James Gunn is now the head of the new DCU.
Yeah.
And so all his opinions, like they can't, whatever it is, they count against him. So I'm afraid to say that James Gunn, you've been cancelled, Gundam style.
And on top of everything,
Yeah.
the Dark Creature of the Night can't even move his fucking neck. Give me a fucking break. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous, awful film. Burton's Planet of the Apes is genius in comparison. Oh yeah, and Jack Nicholson as the Joker is Jack Nicholson in Shining with shitty clown makeup. Fuck you, everyone involved in that travesty.
Whoa.
And then he says, I think Batman Returns, this is in response to some comments, I think Batman Returns is messy but a much more fun and better film. And Batman and Robin is better than the original Tim Burton Batman. Not an opinion, a fact. And I'm not saying that Batman and Robin doesn't suck.
Wow.
So there you go. Also, like, he's openly talked about how, and his brother's talked about this, how he's changed over the years. Like, he used to be a much more cynical person and, like,
Then he got rich.
yeah, he got rich. Well, that and also, like, that definitely. But, like, how the Rocket Raccoon character is, like, a reflection of his evolution as being a cynical and kind of, like, a nihilist kind of approach and how he's become more optimistic and open and all of those things.
Yeah.
And also, he's allowed to think all of this
That's true.
stuff. I don't care at all, to be honest.
I also don't care at all.
Yeah. And also, he
But
may
James,
have...
it's not up to me.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So I'm afraid, James Gunn, you've been cancelled Gundam style.
And Bioli, the dog.
That's right.
Yeah. It doesn't, honestly, who cares? And also, he may have changed his mind. Like, I was like, there was a time when I'm like, I don't like that first Burton Batman movie. But, now I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
You get it.
I get it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Also, you're allowed to not like movies that your current employer makes.
Absolutely.
Or made back, decades ago.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly, Mason. Should we move it along?
yes, that's right.
Okay, so it's been a month
Go
of
on.
this movie being out, but we're
Oh,
here
yes.
now, aren't we? We're here
That's
now,
right.
aren't we?
Yeah, that's right.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
That's
on a
correct.
budget of $70 million. Very reasonable.
Very reasonable.
Box office return only $138 million, but as we talked about last week, this has done $1 billion in toy sales this year.
Yes.
So I don't think they care too much. I think there's going to be a sequel, TV series, and then maybe another movie. I don't know. So basically, animators on this were paid properly and not overworked. Apparently, Seth Rogen and the team went out of their way to do this.
Love that.
We know recently with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, they nearly
got
killed
crunched.
everybody making that movie and underpaid and everything, and then not credited properly. And what I think is just, first of all, it's interesting that can be done. It's very evident.
Which part? The non-crunch part?
Yeah, so that can be done and everybody can work reasonable hours. And also the movie can be quite good. And I think also he learned from Sausage Party because his last animated movie, apparently, a lot of like that was like bad conditions for
So
everybody.
did he make that, or did he just
I think
he was
wrote
just
it
in
and
it?
He was in it.
I
but,
can't remember.
But yeah, so yeah, I think it seems as if he learned from that and was like, well, that's maybe not the way to make a movie, and maybe he didn't know about the specifics of what was going on. Maybe he did.
Whoa.
I don't know. Anyway,
Seth Rogen seems like a cool dude.
yeah, he seems pretty cool, doesn't he? Because he doesn't have kids. I've talked about this.
That's true. Evan Goldberg, don't really know anything about him. Could be cool. Probably cool.
Let's assume he's not a cool dude.
Maybe he's less cool than Seth Rogen.
Maybe he is.
And like Seth Rogen goes to parties and stuff with Evan Goldberg and stands next to him, so people think he's even more cool than he is, which ironically makes him less cool. Makes him
really?
a bad guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's hard being cool.
Yeah.
Or trying to be cool.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to be cool, you're not cool.
I completely agree. Give it up.
Yeah.
Mason, what do you think the story was?
Oh, come on, mate.
Yeah, come on.
All right. Well,
Just don't worry about your migraine. Just do the thing.
you know the Ninja Turtles?
I know them.
It's that again.
Yeah, but with a twist.
They're actual teenagers?
And they're in their grub era. Everybody is.
Everything's so grubby and hairy
Especially-
and slimy.
Especially Splinter.
Oh, he's awful.
It's awful.
Ugh.
It's awful.
I'd hit him with a broom, I can tell you that
Yeah.
much.
A big part of this story is that Splinter was like never accepted by the human world because he was a rat, and then he was changed into a rat man. And I'm like, yeah. Like even for a rat, you're awful.
Oh my god. So this is early days for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
New continuity,
New
obviously.
continuity. We get a slightly tweaked origin story for them, and it's sort of we cut in on the Ninja Turtles story when they've just been spending all their years underground. They haven't really gone out into the world, and they haven't started crime fighting yet. And they're like, but they've heard tales of this villain called Superfly who's doing a series of crimes across the city, and they're like, well, if we stop this guy,
We'll be cool.
it'll be cool, and everybody will love us.
April O'Neil thinks we're cool. Everyone else will think we're cool, maybe.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the story. And like it does start traditional in terms of Ninja Turtle stuff, but by the time you get to the end and the way they leave it up in the air, a bunch of stuff, not like, oh, what's going to happen next? I mean, it is that, but they really like throw a bunch of canon stuff. Like there's some real curveballs in here, which I liked. I've said this before. I said this when we talked about the Michael Bay ones recently, that I appreciate that with the Ninja Turtles, there's so much you can change.
Yeah.
And every version of it does bring something interesting, I think, to it. And I think this is obviously no exception.
Yeah, I think at this point I don't think you could be mad that a version of Ninja Turtles breaks with, the origin or the, various pieces of canon, because there's been so many different versions.
Yeah.
If you're like, well, I can't believe they didn't do it like the original Mirage comics from the 80s yet. I'm
nothing
still
has
mad.
really.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Nothing is really exactly that.
And at this point, I don't think it ever will, considering now it's wholly owned by Nickelodeon.
Absolutely. But I think also like we'll probably still get comics which are kind of set in that Mirage continuity at some point or reflect that. Or I mean, we talked about it recently on the Book Club.
The Last
Ronin's very much like an extension of the Mirage early era.
That's right.
Somewhat, sort of. Yeah, I think one of the things that worked. Oh, did you like it?
I liked it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good.
good,
It's
right?
good fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
If I had two criticisms, actually, I've only really got one criticism.
Yeah, but what if you had two?
Okay,
Probably one of them would be you got a migraine.
I got a migraine, but I don't think that's the movie's fault. I think it's all the bad decisions that led up to me, like
Interesting.
all the caffeine I consumed before I went into the movie and nothing else. But I think if I had one criticism, I think that there was some exposition that was happening during the action sequences that I couldn't understand.
Well,
like there was some audio that, and again, I often wonder if that's the fault of the cinema.
Totally,
the speakers in the cinema.
Yeah.
But I don't think it really matters. It's more like it's sort of a,
It's whipping about.
it's whipping about. It's like it's a rollicking romp.
Yeah.
And there's moments where the turtles themselves are they're riffing and they're kind of having a fun time as teenagers do, and it sort of devolves into just absolute gibberish.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's teenagers, isn't it? Like that's
And the reason it is like that is because they recorded the four Ninja Turtle actors who were children, actual teenagers.
the Ninja Turtle boys.
Yeah, in the same room.
Right.
And often they'd be like, this is kind of the scene, but just do whatever.
Huh.
So that's why it does feel like that. And yeah, there were times with me, I'm like, I miss that entirely. But I also think, like you said, I think it often enhanced the believability of those characters.
And I guess the question is, and this is an important question before we get to the animation style and whether it's revolutionary or not, is teenagers are annoying.
Yep.
Did you find these Ninja Turtles annoying?
No, not at all.
Same.
I think there's been more annoying versions of these characters.
The Michael
than
Bay
this.
versions.
Yeah, very annoying, especially in that first movie. Yeah, definitely. But I think the fact that they were teenagers made it less annoying to me. If this was adult written dialogue said by adults, this would be a fucking nightmare. Like, awful.
Yeah.
Unbearable. But it does feel so authentic, and
Yes.
there's this kind of infectious energy to the characters, which kind of carries over into a lot of the film. And I think that kind of teenage energy is like, because even I know the animation direction for this was draw them, like model them like you would draw something as a teenager. And I like even little things like in the credits, there was a lot of like Ninja Turtle sketches and it looked like they'd been drawn by like kids, some of them. And I just saw a bunch of them. It was just like, that's exactly how I used to draw them when I was a kid. I think that element of this was a real strength. Like I know Seth Rogen said he wanted to lean into the teenage element of it and also the mutant element of it. Because a lot of this is like weird mutant, gross, grub era.
Yes,
stuff
absolutely.
As well. Yeah, that's this version. It's not martial arts heavy. I mean, it is. There's a lot of fighting in it, but that's not the focus of this particular version. Apparently, Seth Rogen learnt that thing about recording from The Lion King. They recorded all their stuff in the same room.
Or wasn't he just learning lessons all over this guy?
I mean, I didn't get...
I learned a lesson from Sausage Party. I learned a lesson from The Lion King.
You don't think it's good for a person to learn a lesson and move forward?
No, I think it's good.
Okay.
I was being sincere.
Yeah.
And I thought it was nice, but I have no practice doing that, so it sounds sarcastic. Okay?
Absolutely. How do you feel about even like bringing April O'Neil, like making her younger as like a high school
That was
student?
cool.
Yeah. She's from
it's Io
The Bear.
Adebari. She's from The Bear, and she's in Bottoms, which I don't think is out here yet.
No, it's not.
She's having a big year.
Big year.
Another Theatre Camp is another movie she's in.
Oh,
I
okay.
think.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Yeah, I mean, incredible cast. Like, we should name the Ninja Turtles, I guess. So it's Mika Abbey as Donatello, Nicholas Cantu as Leonardo, Bradley Noon as Raphael, and Shimon Brown Jr. is Michelangelo. And I think all that went. I also liked how they didn't completely party up the Michelangelo character.
Yeah, right.
Like there was, you got the sense that he was like the laid back kind of like party guy, but it wasn't like, whoa, what's up, whoa? Like, because that as a modern teenager, that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
People aren't
exactly,
like that.
yeah.
I mean,
Again,
it probably never existed.
I don't know any teenagers currently.
Well, I do.
But they seem accurate.
My nephews, just to clarify, I'm not out there. I'm not out there meeting teenagers.
Right. All the teenagers I make friends with by offering to buy them cigarettes, they all act like this. I think it's very accurate.
Yeah. But let's talk about the art style. How did you feel about it? Did it immerse you in this universe?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
It's great.
It reminded me of, I think I talked about this last week, the toys. Seeing them on the shelf.
Yes.
And it's like ooze and wood and weapons and grime.
Incredible textures. It looks like just a pencil coloring in.
Yeah.
Incredible. You could see those brush strokes. I liked it, and again, like Spider-Verse, they've clearly been like if someone has an idea, they've like, let's throw it in. Like if the characters are watching a movie, just put the movie in.
Real
like
movie.
put the real movie on screen.
Probably easier.
Yeah. Or if you bring in at one point there's a little couple of cameos from some real life people as cardboard cutouts. And it's just them. It's just they're not drawn in the Ninja Turtle in this universe's style of all gross weirdos. And I can't find the tweet, but someone I sent it to myself and immediately lost it. But one of the character designers on this movie just put up a bunch of stuff on Twitter of like assorted character designs, like background extra designs, and I love how they're all different shapes and like odd caricatures and just great.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of stuff in common with the original movie in terms of that. Just odd bod kind of, but also like a realism and a grittiness to it as well. Even though obviously this is animated and that was not. That was real. That really happened. They filmed that for real.
Well,
yeah, I think that worked really, really well. I think also this is going to sound like an insult, but this is the worst Splinter we've had.
Right.
And I mean,
voiced by Jackie Chan.
Yeah, in the way that like he's just a gross, dumb, like he means well shut in.
Yeah, right.
But he's not a ninja.
Yeah.
He's not like he wasn't a man who turned into a rat. He was like, as in some traditions, he was a New York rat.
Yes.
And as in the tradition of Michael Bay, he learns kung fu in a strange way, or ninjutsu in a strange way. In this version, instead of out of a book, they They learn it from martial arts movies.
Yes.
Which reminds me of that movie with Stifler, and he had kung fu powers or something.
Bulletproof Monk.
Yes, that's the one. Because that's where he learned his martial arts, Mason.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I what did you think of this version of Splinter?
Yeah, now that you've mentioned it, like I guess the character is sympathetic in that he is a weird shut-in.
He's had a bad time.
He's had a bad time for literally 15 years, and he doesn't know anybody.
Yeah.
And he's like, he loves his kids. What I appreciated is that it wasn't the Splinter from the Bay style movies where he's just a weird torture freak.
Yeah.
Where like the kids mess up and he's like, stand on a ball for 10 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's weird.
Absolutely, yeah. You're looking for that
Character designs.
Yeah, cool. We'll just hang out.
Oh, this is James L. Castillo.
Okay.
Character designer. There's all these various, just a round of
Just a bunch of
police
oddbods.
and FBI guys
Blockheaded
and
SpongeBob.
there was a guy in a SpongeBob costume and a God. I just love all and just people like him.
Was Mr. Beast in this?
Apparently, I don't know which.
I think I heard because he was the guy who thought Splinter was real and tried to pull the.
Oh,
thing
is that
off.
Mr. Beast?
Yeah, I think that was Mr. Beast.
Come on, Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast, what are you up to?
Mr. Beast.
Putting a Ferrari in a thing, whatever he did this week.
Yeah. Anyway, it's great stuff.
Yeah. Also, like the various freaks. So there's Superfly, voiced by Ice Cube, and then there's a bunch of other like characters you might recognize from the original show and other places, but most the original show and toy line.
Mondo Gecko.
Really good. I love one of my favorite bits is when Mondo Gecko met Michelangelo, and they instantly had this kind of really cool kind of vibe together. I really liked that.
Yeah. But I mean, this is a great cast.
I mean, most of them are barely in it.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, John Cena is Rocksteady. Seth Rogen has taken a role as Bebop.
Yep.
Leatherhead is Rose Byrne because I guess they've done a lot of shows.
They've done a bunch of stuff together.
A lot of shows and movies together, and they just like hang out. I guess interesting that Leatherhead is both a girl and Australian.
Yeah,
and also
an alligator. I think she's Leatherhead an alligator.
Oh, you think it should have been an Australian?
I don't care.
Like a crocodile.
Whatever.
Okay, right. But that's
like a mutant alligator would maybe think that they're Australian.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? You're absolutely right. Yeah, interesting. It's interesting because the voice performance sounded like Kate McKinnon to me.
Oh, okay.
Like, is this Kate? Because it's that bad Australian accent. But clearly Rose Byrne's gone. Like, I guess the instruction was lean really heavily into being a bad Australian caricature. Yeah. Because at one point she cooks up a bloomin' onion for someone.
Yeah. But that's
to be clear, is a dish that does not exist in Australia.
No. So, but I guess that would be what an American mutant might think that an
I
Australian
guess that's true.
is.
Yeah.
You know. So that is all. They're all weird freaks.
Yeah.
I really liked Ray Fillet, even though voiced by Post Malone,
right?
Like barely in it, but just that kind of sing-song approach that they took to that.
A real Jason Derulo kind of vibe. Yeah. Cool,
absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah. And the music was composed by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
From 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
There you go.
And they've done, The Social Network and various other things, but that's a great get for this.
That's true, yeah.
How did this cost this much? What did they do?
What do you mean?
What's the deal here? It's just a lot of talent.
Oh, you mean why was it so low?
Yeah.
I think it's probably got to work with Seth Rogen. And also they're just in a room.
They're just in a room, you're right. Yeah. Should we get into spoilers? Or
Let's get into spoilers. Look, I think I would just say...
it's probably my second favourite of the movies.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it a lot. I think the action is perhaps more sparse than you'd think it's going to be.
Yeah.
But there is a really fun action montage in it.
Really good.
Where they're trying to track down clues that'll lead them to Superfly, and they have to go through a bunch of gangs, and it's just kind of like this montage of them. And I think that was really kind of cool and stylish and blended really well together, I thought.
It did, yeah. There's some really cool cuts in that. And then just seeing them just tear through normal people, but then when they come up against another mutant, they're like, oh, actually, maybe we're not very good at this.
Right, yeah.
Maybe the mutant stuff has been doing a lot of the work here.
Yeah, right.
For us.
Yeah, look, and again, I think, all credit to the main four guys. I think they were really cool
really
and interesting.
Good, yeah.
I think that worked really well. So yeah, I definitely, if you didn't see this at the movies already, it's on streaming or you can steal it, but really maybe buy it.
Yeah.
Maybe buy it.
It did all the right things.
Yeah. Well, exactly. I feel like if you're going to support anything, it's a lower budget, movie that is good and didn't destroy the people making it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be nice. So I'm going to say
as far as we know.
As far as we know, yet.
At time of recording.
So I'm going to say best movie ever.
Where would you rank it in the Turtles movies?
All of them.
I have like nostalgia, obviously, for the first one.
Yep.
I don't even know if this is, to me, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
But that's because I grew up with it and whatever. But so to me, it's second. But
I think it would also be second for me. Yeah.
Did you like the 2007 animated one? Well, I did.
Oh, the one with Patrick Stewart, he's in it.
Yeah.
Not really.
I'm a man from the past and I've got stone helpers.
No, I don't like that at all.
It's all right.
How do you feel? You saw this with your son?
Yes.
What did he think?
He loved it.
Okay.
It was incredible.
Did you have to go and
Explain the Ninja Turtles to him?
Yeah, no, you would not have to do that. Did you have to go on Spotify and look up all the songs that were in the soundtrack?
Yes.
And then find clean versions of them? Because
some of them, yeah.
Because what was the last thing we saw? Oh, it was the Super Mario Brothers movie that has.
Oh yeah, and Rise of the Beast has a few in that as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
But
yeah.
It's like I can't put that one on you.
No, that's right. Like there's
because I'm for censorship.
That's true. You are you are very much for censorship.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this again, it was very heavy New York-based soundtrack. So it was like "Anti Up" by MOP, which is like
absolutely
it's quite rude.
It's a rude song.
It's quite rude. You shouldn't. Don't let your son sing along to the uncensored version of that.
But he does have that. What's going on? He's got that.
Oh yeah.
Which is a nice song.
And "Can I Kick It?" That's a nice song.
Yeah, put that one on there as well.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, spoilers.
Yes.
Just like in the tradition of all great movies set in New York, including the movie Joker, which is actually set in Gotham, I guess, technically.
But isn't that something?
New York comes together like they did at the end of the movie Joker to kill Bruce Wayne's parents.
Yeah, that's right.
But this time it's to kill a big fly, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Look, I knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming,
yeah.
New York went New York style, baby, and I thought that was great. Everybody got together, all the first responders and the delivery guys and the taxi drivers and all that.
Some of the mutants got together.
That's right. Everybody teamed up. I thought that was nice.
I just meant when Splinter kissed the bug woman.
Oh yeah, I thought that was nice.
Was it?
Yeah, it was nice.
Oh wait, yuck.
Scumbug.
What I loved about that is I don't know if you saw, there was a minor outrage, which means it was probably nothing because I'm too online.
Oh, because Splinter was gay.
But
Scumbug is a lady.
Yeah, but even that, what's the worst element of that, do you think? If you were to complain, it's a horrible bug person.
Right.
Why would that be the thing that...
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a mutant... It's a horrible mutant rat kissing a horrible... some sort of bug thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
stink bug maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But then, often these, as these things go, the turtles, they stay in the shadows. They don't interact with a lot of real people.
And then at the end, they go back into the shadows. And it's only April O'Neil and maybe one other guy.
Will Arnett.
It's Will Arnett, yeah.
But no. But this one, they go to school.
They
get found out.
Yeah.
And they just live normal human lives. And I think that definitely doesn't work for every version.
No.
But for the way that these were written,
Michael Bay ones couldn't fit through the blooded door.
No. They'd kill everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was fun and nice. And
I completely agree.
And a fun new continuity. And yeah, they're teenagers.
And they want to go to school.
They want to go to school. So that makes perfect sense to put them in school in the next movie if they're going to do another one,
Yeah, I guess if there was a complaint about any of the continuity, it's that all the mutants now live in the sewer, the same house.
Yeah, I guess
because and even Bebop and Rocksteady who were...
Oh, yeah, so in this...
But that can be changed.
Yeah,
that's fine, whatever.
I mean... I'm sure people will complain about this, but yeah. So in previous continuities, all the mutants sort of mutated over a period of years, and some are human that turned into mutants, and some are animals that turned into mutants, and Bebop and Rocksteady were famous. A couple of punk guys that turned into there. Whereas in this, they were all test tube babies, and they all mutated pretty much at the same time.
They're all 15-ish.
Yeah, and also I guess they've sort of skipped Bebop and Rocksteady being Ninja Turtles' nemesis. They're just sort of, they had a little scuffle and now they're all friends.
They'll probably come back to that, though.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe, because at the end, of course, we get a little glimpse of
post
Shredder,
credits.
Who,
It was going to be in this initially, but
really?
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't need it.
Yeah, and I think that you're absolutely right. And so perhaps they'll turn to Shredder's side briefly. Maybe he'll lure them in with promises of cigarettes and so forth. To be
like the original
their
movie,
best friend. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and arcade machines and skate parks and so forth.
That would get me smoking. You show me an arcade machine, I will punch a dart for you, no problem.
That's exactly
Easy.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder, though, because, again, the box office for this is not great.
Right.
Whether this is the version that they go forward with. But I think they should. I think this could, like Spider-Verse, also grow. We talked about this last week, but they weren't able to promote it, and they reckon that affected probably 15% of the box office for this. I think that's very possible.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me if Rogan and Goldberg are just pitching the next one and they go, The Boys. We did The Boys, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And we did Preacher and we did all this other stuff that got multiple seasons and everybody loves it. So maybe give this.
Yeah.
Let's give us one more.
Give us
and
a
bearing
chance,
in mind, we sold you $1 billion worth of merchandise.
I think the show is happening regardless, though.
Yeah, right.
So that's,
with the same voice actors?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Animated,
yeah.
That's cool. I love that.
I agree. It would be cool.
Little Easter eggs.
What do you got?
Well, I've only got
Eastman Laird stuff.
Yeah, there is
signs for Eastman and Laird and whatever.
It's Eastman High School and Laird something else.
Laird Academy.
Laird Academy or something. But Maya Rudolph is Cynthia Utrom.
Yes.
The head of TCRI.
She's a Krang Mason.
She's probably a Krang.
She's giving me those Krang-style glasses. Do you think
right.
she's Krang or an Utrom Krang?
I think it's the second one.
Do you think she's Lady Krang?
Oh, like they've gender swapped Krang.
Or that's just like a
I think
body.
regular Krang is Lady Krang.
Is Lady Krang? Is Krang a lady?
I'm assuming so.
I have no idea. I mean, it's a brain, so who knows?
It'll upset people, so I'm saying yes.
Good.
It'll upset the worst kind of people, so I think Krang.
Me?
Yeah, I think Krang has always been a lady.
Fair enough. Well, I love that.
That was a bit of fun.
Got some reviews here if you're
go on.
interested.
I am.
It's from Nate Harris, who says, #WeeklyPlanetPod. It's amazing what people can create when they genuinely care about what they are making. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is for sure the best movie ever. Oh, isn't that exciting to see?
It is.
This is from Forgotten Leftovers, who says, #WeeklyPlanetPod. My 4-year-old patiently waited to see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, and it did not disappoint. Lots of fun, and the mid-credits scene blew his mind. He cannot wait for the sequel. #best movie ever. And Josh Drury says, #WeeklyPlanetPod. Went to see Mutant Mayhem over the weekend. It was easily the best movie ever. The soundtrack is so good. It was as good as the pepperoni pizza looked.
Oh.
Damn. #WeeklyPlanetPod. I think I said that already.
It does get you hungry for pizza.
It really does. Yeah. So, all in all, I think this is a very successful outing. Yeah. Should we move it along?
Okay. How about this? Turtles co-creator Kevin Eastman appears in a voice cameo as the citizen that helps Splinter during the climax.
Get up, rat.
Yeah, get up. Get off this. Get back in the sewers, you freak.
Broke your foot, rat. You fuck. Yeah.
That's right.
I agree.
Yeah, nice.
Cool. Great cameos.
I agree.
I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today? What are we reading? What we're gonna read?
What is it?
Yeah.
Stuff and things.
Mostly, this is where we talk about things we've been reading and doing and saying.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. We alluded to it up top. We missed a very obvious metaphor in the RoboCop 3 video. I don't know if you remember about dogs and fire hydrants.
Wow, is this the apology episode?
No, I'm not apologizing.
We should have done a Notes app apology.
Let me tell you this.
All right.
Because they got up early, BigSandwich.co, I knew this was coming. Because all the early comments were that. And I'm like, I can remove this. But
James, what have I said? I've said if I ever make an error, all you have to do is get that AI to replicate my voice and correct the error.
Yeah.
You can make the AI say anything.
It wasn't just you though.
Wow.
It was 2 errors
on
both of our parts.
Wow.
But then I thought, it's RoboCop 3. RoboCop 2 didn't do great. It got suppressed by the algorithm.
Right.
So I let it ride.
Wow.
And so far it's been worth it. But because it did better. But I might end up just because there's a YouTube in-editor thing that
you clip it out.
Yeah.
Wow.
In hindsight, I'm like, it's amazing. It's kind of incredible that we missed that. That we both missed that.
Oh, because Frank Miller,
Yeah.
the writer of some of the RoboCop sequels,
Yeah,
some
sort of,
parts of some of the
sort of.
RoboCop sequels, some of the scripts, said that a script is a fire hydrant and everybody involved is
The Hollywood
dogs.
dogs come and piss on it or whatever.
Okay, right. But he didn't say piss on it.
No, he didn't.
And we were like, oh, okay. Because I would say traditionally, dogs don't piss on fire hydrants in Australia.
No.
They just piss on the ground.
Most of our fire hydrants are in ground.
Yeah, or in building.
In building,
Like in the city, they're in, like if you've got a building, you've got a fire hydrant in it.
Exactly.
So we don't have fire hydrants.
We're sorry we're not as worldly as people who live only in America.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry we don't sit on a piss-stained fire hydrant eating a slice of bad pizza in New York City, baby. Sorry.
We'd love to.
Sorry, we'd love to do that.
But that is also something like, I know that. You know that.
But also I had a migraine.
Yeah, you had a migraine.
As you know, I've
Yeah,
had
you
this
did.
migraine for a decade at this point. It's weird. We started doing the podcast and I just got a migraine every day forever.
I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Mason,
Go on.
There's something we got a tweet here that will relate into the next thing. It's from Mr. Handwash, who says, good, by the way, Do you wash your hands? I reckon you
Unless
boys.
it's ironic.
Oh, and then that's bad.
Yeah.
You boys should do a 10-minute chat for Ahsoka each episode each week on the Weekly Planet #Weekly Planet Pod.
I didn't watch it.
As I haven't seen any of the animated shows in this week's pod, was very helpful. I did watch it. I don't
Okay.
really have much to say.
Oh,
We'll
no.
probably do a recap at the
Okay.
end, or we won't.
Yeah.
We might not.
Oh, yeah.
But after watching another okay episode of Ahsoka,
How's the conversations? How's the dialogue scenes?
incredible.
Do you mean bad?
Yeah, it's whatever. Like, I think it will probably get better, but
Okay.
also I don't care if it doesn't.
Right.
But I know a lot of people talked about how like this version with Rosario Dawson is really stoic compared to like previous.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about that.
Yeah.
But I wonder if the instruction there was okay. Well, it's an Ahsoka who's been through
Yeah.
a lot, and it's the. I mean, surely
Probably done a lot of lightsaber
yeah,
fights.
like Dave Filoni created the Clone Wars stuff, right?
Yeah.
and obviously he was one of the hands behind it, and he's also doing this. So surely he wouldn't misunderstand his own character so badly.
Yeah, I assume not.
I mean, a lot of people wouldn't have.
yeah,
but I'm saying
she's definitely more stoic in the Rebel stuff
right.
as well.
So I think
Yeah.
I would have said isn't the point that she's been through a lot of stuff, and so
Yeah.
she's now at a stage in her life where she isn't like.
I assume so, but that also doesn't necessarily need to equate with like this isn't very interesting.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
true. Yeah, somebody can be stoic and interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
People think that of me. They see me and they're like, "Look at this guy. He's a pillar of strength, but he's very interesting." I hear people say that.
Interesting. That's what
But
they
anyway,
say.
after watching another episode where I was like, okay, whatever, I went, you know what? I'm going to watch Andor. And then I just watched all of Andor by
Wow.
accident. All
how
12
long did that?
episodes.
Wow, in like 12 hours.
No, it was like over like a number of days. But I don't really rewatch Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't watch the shows again. Andor was fucking incredible.
It is.
It's better than I remember. And
Wow.
I really liked it the first time. And it like you feel things when you watch Andor. And there's like tension and emotion, and you like people, and you like people you should hate.
And you go, that's the guy from the bear.
And then you go, that's the guy from the bear, you say to yourself.
yeah.
And just people come and go, and if you get shot with a blaster, guess what? You're dead.
Yeah.
Like, there's not like, oh, I'll be all right.
If
No,
you go-
you're
if-
dead. You
if
died.
If you're going to escape from a prison facility and then you get out the door and you realize there's water and you can't swim, you're dead.
But you might be in the next series.
Yeah, you might be in the next series though.
Yeah, I just think, and look, not every Star Wars has to be Andor. I know that, but I just think it might be the best Star Wars, just the best Star Wars, just in general.
Even more than Star Wars Episode 1, First Star Wars, A New Hope Star Wars Episode 1.
Damn, that was a good one. When they went to the Senate and they went, "There's too many trade federations."
No,
happening."
Episode 1, the first episode, Star Wars Episode 1,
The
A New
one where
Hope.
they said, "Jabba the Hutt, what are you doing here? Give me a gun."
Yep,
Yeah, that's
That
a
one,
good
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
That's a good one.
that is a good one.
Yeah. What have you been
So
doing?
you've been watching Andor. I've been watching...
No, not what. I'm sad it's over. Now I got to wait a year, maybe, probably more for more Andor.
Probably more.
Fuck.
Unless...
And it could be bad.
Yeah.
It could come back and it's bad.
Unless Tony Gilroy makes a movie in between then and now, and it gets like 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, and then they fire him. Mando season 2. I've been watching a series. It's on Stan in Australia, but I think it's on Peacock in America. It's called Killing It. It's just got a new season.
Okay.
It's Craig Robinson,
Yeah.
and Claudia O'Doherty as two
Love that
people.
cast.
Yeah, as two people in a snake hunting competition.
Okay.
But it's the
I've seen this pop up.
yeah. So it's the guys behind Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is why Craig Robinson is in it. It's Dan Gore and the other guy. But it's more about like it's sort of about how like the system is rigged against people who don't have anything in the first place,
Right.
which is why they're in this
Snake hunting business.
competition. Yeah. Because like Claudia O'Doherty plays like a rideshare driver who has like a billboard on the back of a car, like on a trailer.
Yeah.
But she also lives in it.
Okay,
And like
right,
at one
yeah.
point, Craig Robinson's character is just living in a gym because it's
Yeah.
cheaper kind of thing. But it's got that Brooklyn Nine-Nine level of comedy, but it's also like a completely different environment. And it's just
Is
like
it funnier than Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah.
Good.
I think it's at least as funny.
Good.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Like, agree probably.
Yeah, great. If you'd watched it.
Excuse me.
Like
I
we
will watch it
agreed.
because I saw it come up. I'm like, what's this?
Oh, yeah.
I like these people, but now I will watch it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't think if I've read anything this week. Don't think I have.
You don't have to.
No.
Let me tell you the
We
truth.
are going to read for the book club.
Some RoboCop
Some
maybe?
RoboCop versus the Terminator books.
Yeah, we probably will.
So that's
yeah.
exciting.
They're not on Comixology either. That's annoying.
Oh, we're going to have to
Yeah.
steal them illegal style.
No, we won't though. We'll get them illegally.
Well, I have my paper copies of the original somewhere. So
That's really helpful.
for me, it is. It is.
You can photocopy him?
Yeah, I'll
You can scan him
photocopy.
and send him to me?
Yeah, I'll go down to school.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll photocopy him.
Cool. Just black and white's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, colour's only about
I said I
50 a
don't
page.
care. I don't
Okay.
care.
Okay, that's great.
It's just bonus content. Who cares?
That
Oh,
is
no.
true.
Is this still in the podcast? Oh, no, Mason.
No.
So go on.
Oh, I am going to read. I have a copy on the way of the Sandman Mystery Theatre Omnibus, which is, so everybody knows Sandman, the Neil Gaiman kind of mystical
Yeah, he
Sandman.
fought Spider-Man, I remember.
Yeah. But there was also a series sort of throughout the 90s called Sandman Mystery Theatre, which was
Okay, come and see my one-man show.
not that Sandman, not Sandman and Flacco. It's unrelated, James.
It might be related.
It might be related. But this is about the golden age Sandman, the guy with the gas mask and the gas gun and the trench coat and the hat, like the old school one.
Yeah. Who's sort of in, some of that bleeds over into Neil
Yeah,
Gaiman's Sandman, the
so-
gas mask. And
Yeah, so this Sandman, because he was an actual like 1940s superhero character, but it's since been retconned that he got prophetic dreams
Whoa.
through the Sandman, the Neil Gaiman Sandman. So
Sick.
it's a little bit mystical. It's cool. I haven't read it in a
So
long
what
time.
is it? Sorry, it's a
So I'm getting the omnibus. So this is
Omnibus,
like the
right,
collector's
okay, yeah,
edition of all
gotcha.
of them. So
black and white?
no,
Sick.
full color.
Full colour. Can you
better
copy
believe
that
it.
for me?
Yeah, I'll photocopy
In
it
black
for
and
you.
white.
Yeah, nice.
Great.
Anyway, so I'm excited for that.
That sounds really
I'll let you
good.
know how it goes.
I've got some things that I want to try this week. One particular game, but I'll talk about it next week, hopefully.
Okay, great.
'Cause I'm like, I want to talk about it, but I want to play it
Is
first.
it Armored Core 6?
No. Looks hard. No,
look
it's not
hard.
Star Citizen. I have to do a thing and whatever.
Starfield.
Whatever. I don't care.
Wow. Seems like you care a lot.
Maybe I
actually.
do care.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something I would want to try, but I don't want to run it on my PC and I don't have a Xbox 400, whatever the fuck the latest Xbox is.
It's the Xbox 400.
Great. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, I just love people being like, I hate this game. It's my favorite. Bethesda have let me down again. Yeah, they do that. That's what they do.
Yeah.
We all should know better, but we don't. Yeah. And apparently it's got some good stuff in it.
I've heard it's got some
Apparently
good stuff.
people are liking it.
I saw somebody say Skyrim in space and,
Great.
pretty. I mean, and it's also that thing of like.
You just play Skyrim outside
That's true.
at night. That would be
Underneath
the
the
same.
stars.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think for a lot of video game stuff, especially the huge AAA titles, it is a case of.
This is junk.
No, but you've got to wait until.
They fix it.
Well, you got to wait until they fix
You
it.
gotta wait
but
a
also
year.
you've got to wait till they fix it. That's the
Yeah.
number one thing. But you also have to wait for all the media who've been given early access
Yeah.
and a lot of perks and a lot of stuff and favorable treatment who've said this is 9 out of 10, this is 10 out of 10, this is the game of the year, whatever. You have to wait for all those to go through. Then you have to wait for the fanboys who hate everything to be like, this is 1 out of 10, this is the worst game in the world,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And then you have to wait a bit more. And then you have to wait I personally have to wait at least a couple more months before like sensible thinking sets in and people go, oh yeah, generally this is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked the game Days Gone, they say.
They do say that, yeah.
Yeah, they might say.
Cyberpunk 2077 is playable now, they
yeah,
say.
I've heard they fixed it maybe. I don't know. Find out. We'll find out. I'll never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't encourage this behavior. And it's not because I'm bitter.
It's making me think you are.
It's
a bit better.
not. You're not listening. Should we move to the next segment of the show?
Yep.
Is it the letters segment?
It's the letter segment.
Or have we
So
introduced a new segment that I'm not familiar with?
I think I introduced one earlier, but I've already forgotten what it was. So,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's devastating news.
Oh, that's what it's called. It was called Oh No, That's Devastating News.
We should do that.
Yeah. Oh no. We
could
just
probably-
use that clip from 2 seconds ago. That'd be great. Should it be sarcastic though?
No. Let's make it genuinely devastating.
How about this? It's a segment called Oh No, That's Devastating News, and one of us brings a piece of news, and at the end we have to guess if that person was being genuine or sarcastic.
Okay.
So we're like, oh no, that's devastating. This person died, blah, blah, blah. And then you go, sarcastic, and I go, nailed it.
Correct.
It's good that guy's dead. Bit of fun?
That could be fun.
Anyway, this one's called Letters, so I'll play the theme
Yeah,
of
yeah,
letters. Like this.
Letters, we love
Fuck
you.
that, Mason.
Some letters, they're only a
Faded.
day away.
We're going to hear right now. We're going to do letters. I've got a migraine, all right?
What were you thinking on that fade in?
I thought it'd be a cool fade in.
well,
I
then,
thought it'd be smooth on my brain.
well, then it was cool.
Yeah,
If you do want to reach the show, hashtag weeklyplanetpod on Twitter
that's right.
or weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. This one's from Shinzaimon Le Criminel. Hashtag
think that's
Weekly
French
Planet
for something?
Pod. Don't know.
Okay.
Who says, please tell me you've watched One Piece live action. My number one favorite Australian after Thor Hemsworth and of course Wikipedia Brown. I watched one episode. I really liked it.
Okay.
I probably talk about it next week.
As a guy who loves everything and knows everything about anime, how did you feel?
Well, obviously, like it's true to the narrative. I'm like, I remember that this he's a rubber boy. I knew that.
Is he? Is that his thing? What do you mean?
He's like a Gumby guy.
Is he?
Yes. Yeah.
The guy with the straw hat.
Yeah. One Piece.
When you say he's a Gumby guy,
he's rubber. He can
but he was a pirate.
I mean, he is a pirate too.
Oh, interesting.
He can stretch and shit.
Huh.
He's like invulnerable.
This is the thing because I've never seen any One Piece. But I'm sure I've seen like if you Google One Piece, it's the guy with the straw hat and he's got a red shirt or whatever. But you never see him do a Gumby thing. I've never seen him. I'd be like, if I Googled One Piece and it was that guy and he was doing a Gumby thing, I'd be like, oh, he's a Gumby guy. I get it now. I see the appeal now.
Anyway,
are you doing a bit?
No. I think it's. Oh, here we go. Look at all this Gumby stuff this dude's doing.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Anyway,
but did you Google One Piece Gumby guy?
I wrote One Piece stretch. It's the thing that he does. He had a weird fruit.
Can everybody else do a thing like that?
No, it's the thing he does.
But can other people do other weird things depending on the fruit that they eat?
I don't. Yeah, maybe. Huh. I mean, I do know, but I'd hate to spoil it.
Oh, yeah, no, fair enough.
So he's a Gumby guy.
He is a Gumby guy. That is true. On account of the fruit he ate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think it's a ploy to encourage children to eat more fruit?
It could be.
Because if you do,
this didn't look like any fruit I'd ever seen. But yeah, I think it's also like it's got a very specific tone and rhythm. Okay. It reminded me of Kung Fu Hustle.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah, which I didn't like when I
don't remember liking that.
But I liked this. So I think if I went back to Kung Fu Hustle, I'd probably be like, I get it now.
Do you think it may be the mood you're in as you watch it?
Yeah, maybe. But I wasn't in any kind of particular mood when I started it.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn! I would have kind of liked to not know that he was a Gumby guy before going in. Is the reveal?
Early. It's
okay, right. So it's not a reveal. Like it's.
I mean, it was to me.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe it's better for my state of mind that I know he's a Gumby guy going in. Is it like in Scott Pilgrim versus the World, where initially it seemed if you didn't know anything about it, you hadn't seen the trailers, you'd think it's just like a romance, but then he turns out it's a weird video game fight thing.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that.
It was a bit like that.
Okay, interesting.
I guess. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, we'll probably talk about it next week.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give it a go.
Yeah. He's a Gumby guy.
Yeah.
What else you got?
This is from William from Scotland.
Scotland?
Hi, James and Meso. As the new Doctor Who specials and new Hunger Games, the first Hunger Games film, are both coming out this November. I wondered if you will complete the trilogy of Doctor Who Hunger Games episodes. The first one was episode 9 and the second one was episode 60. I think it'd be pretty funny if the third was in the 500s range. It will be.
Yeah. I mean, if they're coming out the same week, then definitely.
Yeah, because we did that for a couple of, the
At least 2 Hunger Games movies.
At least 2 Hunger Games movies and a couple of either Doctor Who specials or like debut new season episodes, something. Okay, happened. We'll do that. I'm excited to, as always, I'm excited to watch new Doctor Who and then switch off pretty quickly.
Absolutely. Me and you both.
So that's exciting.
Me and you both, brother.
Oh, yeah.
This one's from Christine who says, I was at Dragon Con 20...
Christine Anu?
The
singer?
No.
Huh, interesting.
I can't confirm that, but no, from this picture, no.
Okay.
I was at Dragon Con 2023 and was hoping someone would notice and that all my hashtag chronic pain would be worth it. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Hashtag Weekly Planet Pod. I'm now watching Bluey. So if you'll see here, Christine has worn. I got to bring it up, Mason, because I closed the goddamn. I thought I had the tweet, but then I took the link out of it. What was I thinking? I'm a moron.
James, I don't think you're a moron.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Christine is wearing the Rope Pope Cop t-shirt.
Oh dear.
It's too niche. That's why I think there's a good chance that you might get recognized there, but Rope Pope Cop is yeah, that may be why. But no, we appreciate their support and I hope you're doing all right. Yeah, I should get that shirt. But there's other implications behind that shirt.
Yeah, and like his famous catchphrase.
But yeah, no, thank you so much. Do you have a tweet, Mason?
James, I'll find an email.
All right, while you're doing that, I got this from actually this is a bit of a longer one, so I'll wait for your email.
Okay,
How about that?
I love that, James. I love that.
I bet if you didn't have a migraine, this would be quicker for you.
No, it'd be longer, actually.
Okay.
It'd be longer.
All right. Because you'd be like actually trying, as opposed to now you just find anything, whatever.
I don't know, man.
Who cares? Who cares? No one cares.
No, I care.
All right, okay.
It's an email from Simon. who says, you got me a job, brackets not really. Hey guys, in my quarterly review at work today, I found out that my boss also listens to the podcast.
What?
And later on in the same meeting, he upgraded me to a permanent contract. Coincidence? Yes, but I felt good about both things.
Well,
Please, can I be the official person who is finally eligible for a mortgage of the podcast?
That's sick, man.
That's from Simon.
On two
Congratulations.
counts. That's really cool, man.
That's right.
Yeah, we definitely helped.
I think so, yeah.
What's the job?
Doesn't say.
Do you think something shady?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Probably illicit drug dealing.
Oh, there's a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was only going to give you a casual position as my assistant illicit drug dealer. Now, permanent position.
Permanent position.
That's right.
Until you go to jail.
Or get shot on the main streets of New York, baby.
Oh my god.
But in the meantime, sit on that piss-stained fire hydrant and
which is the thing they love.
yeah, they love that. They love it.
Got a tweet here from Benson Mate who says, #WeeklyPlanetPod. I met a fellow Aussie Melburnian in the UK this week. He's all trained up for a trip this winter to Antarctica with a British Antarctic survey.
Whoa.
He told me Australia no longer funds trips or science research like this anymore, hence why he was here. Why is this? Do you know much about this?
No.
This is a great question. So basically at the beginning of 2022, the then federal government, which is the Liberal Party, announced that there was going to be an $804 million. There was going to be $804 million over the next decade spent on the Australia's Antarctic division, right?
Right.
And the funding basically allowed Australian Arctic scientists to continue undertaking significant world-class research in terms of environmental management, in terms of climate change, and basically how the fragile Arctic environment was dealing with all these things that was happening, right? And the announcement was apparently a response, really, though, it seems as if, to Russia and Chinese expansion into Antarctica. So it was two-pronged. It was like, well, this is for the environment, but also it's also some geopolitical maneuverings, right?
Yes, please.
So that's what's happened there.
That sounds like a maneuvering worthy of a Tom Clancy novel.
No doubt. Now, in late July, though, of this year, the Australian Arctic Division sent out an email saying that staff saying they can't afford all of their current positions, apparently due to it needing to find $25 million in savings for some reason.
Okay.
And the federal government then, which is a new government now, it's a Labor government who came in, I want to say March to May of last year.
Who knows? It's been an eternity.
It's been an eternity. They came in and said, listen, no jobs will apparently be lost here, despite them needing to save $25 million. So the idea is that for the moment, there's less people potentially doing more work.
Okay.
And as a result of this is also, I mean, that's bad obviously for the people who are working there or lose their jobs, though apparently they're not going to lose their jobs.
Okay.
But also that in turn could lead to gaps in the data, which is obviously devastating for climate research because this isn't something you just want to, put down and then pick up a few years later. You need to follow trends to get a momentum going. This is something you need to follow. So there's actually a Senate inquiry into the current funding management of the Australian Arctic Division and to figure out what is going on here. But it's also, as mentioned, it's not clear how the federal government can say, listen, nobody's going to lose any jobs, but also you have to cut $25 million in funding. It was all very vague.
Probably cut off the heaters.
Yeah, maybe you could probably cut off.
Don't pay the heating
turn
bill.
the heaters off. Yeah, just put put 2 pairs of socks on.
That's right.
But basically the idea behind Arctic funding is that there's no real money in it, really. That's the idea behind it. No, I mean, and it's only going to be bad news. It's going to be like maybe climate change is bad. And quite frankly, governments don't want to hear that in general,
That
I
is
would
true.
say. So yeah, if you were wondering why, that might be what's happened there.
Plus also there might be a The Thing situation.
It might have been another thing situation.
Yeah.
And that would probably cost at least $25 million to burn one of those ghoulish fucks out of a facility.
Right. Yeah.
And then they might have got out anyway. You don't know.
Exactly.
Because it's the thing.
It's The Thing.
Anyway, anything else? Got another letter?
I bet I can find another email.
I bet you could.
I bet I can. I bet I can do it.
That was just all the top of my head. I like to keep abreast of what's going on.
Is the top of your head in your laptop screen?
No. These are just my extensive notes I've already taken for previous, just in general.
This is from Brent. Brent says, hey, James and Meso, have either of you guys checked out Batman The Audio Adventures? It's a comedic radio drama podcast with 2 seasons so far and 10 episodes each. I think it has some real inspired casting with John Leguizamo as the Riddler and Brent Spiner as the Joker.
Like that cast.
A mix of campy comedy with seriously dark situations, and the voice cast really brings it to life.
I've never even heard of that.
Well, I heard about it because it's got John Leguizamo in it, and our friends over at Missions Axe Leguizamo.
They love all of that.
They covered it with Mark Bonanno from Auntie
Did
Donna.
they say it was
also.
good? This email says it was good.
Yeah, I think the mix of campy comedy and dark situations is perhaps not for everyone, based on the review that I heard on their podcast. But, they committed to experience everything John Leguizamo related.
Absolutely, they have to. Has that email got anything about people being stuck in the mud at Burning Man?
No, but we can talk about that if you want.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know, man. Chris Rock was there or something.
Oh, yeah.
And another guy, a couple of famous guys.
They just helicopter
escaped Burning Man. Helicopter Burning Man.
Yeah.
Somebody said Ebola was happening in Burning Man, but I don't think that's true.
Yeah, that's probably it could be just a little display that they're doing. A little, not an experiment, just a little artistic expression going on.
To give people Ebola.
Yeah, I mean, it's Burning Man. Anything goes.
Yeah, that's true.
Including Ebola.
Mm.
I mean, Burning Man never looked appealing to me, but this is just my God.
It's a new fire festival.
When you see music festivals and it's just all people in the mud and the tents, just fuck no. No, thank you. Bloody hell.
Here's an email from Michael. G'day from Sydney.
G'day, mate.
Hey, Nick and James. G'day, mate. G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
G'day, mate. I've been a long-time connoisseur of your YouTube channel and the podcast. Around the end of the last year, I decided I'd go back and do the whole thing starting in episode 1 and working forward while also keeping up with the new episodes.
Whoa, episode 1, that's us.
Flash, that's right. The only ones I've skipped are ones I want to watch first before listening, like movies and such.
I understand that.
Just finished episode 100. I noticed so far there's been no announcement about you having sponsors, which means you probably didn't have any by this point in the show.
Yeah,
which is weird because all the episodes so far have had ad breaks in the middle. It makes me wonder, did James have to go back through all these episodes to find edit points for the ad breaks?
Collins
did that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
At a great personal time.
Yeah. Michael has said, if he did my condolences, to help take the sting off that, I promised to do one push-up for every one he had to go back to. Well, you didn't have to go back to any, so that's 0 push-ups, I guess.
Push-ups, yeah.
Once I get to this first, I don't know what happened. We did have sponsors back then.
Yeah, we definitely did, but we took them out because what was the reason? It's a few years ago.
Probably Big Sandwich.
Yeah, Big Sandwich. And even before that, I think it was because it was also we don't have to promote this anymore, so we'll just take it out.
Stop paying us to promote this thing.
Not being paid in perpetuity.
Yeah, exactly.
For this, so
that's
we took
exactly
them
right.
out. Yeah. I think also some of those sponsors were technically you had to leave them in forever, but I'm no one's going to check this. Some of these companies
and some of those companies went out of business.
Or they folded into another company or whatever, or the people who worked there now moved on to another thing. So whatever.
Also, we didn't a lot of stuff originally we didn't know you could get a sponsor for a podcast. For a long time, we didn't know you could get a sponsor for a podcast. We didn't know you could email a movie studio and be like, can we get tickets to this thing because we're going to review it? We didn't know any of these things.
Know any of that.
And then once we finally did, we would show up at these movie premieres and there'd be people who have 1% of our listeners and they've been going for years.
Yeah.
And we're like,
that's right, they have one listener.
They have one listener, that's right. And we're like, we've been busting our ass for 100 listeners for 5 years.
Yeah. No, you're right. So, basically, if you want to go to stuff, just start a blog and just email and they'll probably give you one, depending where you are in the world. I don't know how it all works. But, that's the same for screeners. You want screeners, just reach out. They're on their websites. They've got all their PR stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, I do less of that now because I can't be bothered. But, you can if you want to see stuff early and free.
Or you want to go to the premiere of Indiana Jones and there's a whip guy there doing whip stuff.
Yeah, he whips for 20 minutes. There's a 20-minute whip show.
It vastly over promised how much whipping there was in the actual movie.
It's true, there was probably one whip.
There was one big whip.
What's his name?
Whippy Whip.
John Whip. Whippy Whip.
No, it was Whippy something.
Whippy McNeil or something?
Might have been Whippy McNeil. Yeah, love that guy.
Yeah.
Had a good attitude. I liked it.
No, he did. He was great at whipping. Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
Claire.
There was nobody there who was better at whipping as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Claire got a bunch of the early sponsorships as well.
That's true.
She did all of that. She figured all that out. And then we moved over to a provider, which is Acast, who now do most of the ads now.
Yes.
So Claire does less of that now because she's like, I hate doing this and I don't want to do it anymore.
I mean, she gets ads, but just for herself in her personal life.
That's right.
So sometimes she'll be down the shops.
Yeah.
And somebody be like, hey, Claire, how's it going? And she'd be like, great, now that I have
Flora margarine.
That's right. Now I have a koala mattress and you can get one too.
Exactly. Anything else?
No, that's the whole...
Also, to be fair with those ads, we only ever did stuff that we like. Yeah, we like this. Or we use this. There was so much that we still now. There's so much stuff that we don't do.
Yeah. Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends. Which, you know what? They offer so much money. I should do one.
You should do one.
I should do
one. You should
one.
play it and derive some enjoyment out of it and then do the sponsorship, James. What are you thinking?
I mean, a lot of people play it.
That's true.
I don't know. I find that we've talked about this, but I find mobile games, and it's not all of them, but they're really predatory.
Right,
and I
yeah.
don't like that element of it. And again, it's not all mobile games, but it's most of them. So I don't want to involve myself in that. So for the moment, we don't do, and this might change depending on the product. We don't do anything that's like predatory like that. We don't do financial advice. We don't do anything medical because we're like, we don't know. Like we've had stuff
Yeah,
like
BetterHelp with the
which I
psychiatry
might
thing.
even like bet because BetterHelp is coming here.
Yeah, right.
And like that's something I like. Yeah, maybe that would be good for you.
But we'd have to do a lot of research and be like, does this actually help people, or is it just like like if it's just an AI going? Have you tried going for a walk or whatever?
Yeah,
it's like.
But if it's like, because I know often with these programs, you get onto actual people. But BetterHelp is starting here in Australia.
Yeah, right.
And I don't know what that looks like yet, so I'm not really comfortable with.
That's true.
We also don't do alcohol, like CBD stuff, like drug stuff and whatever, which is not nothing that I have a problem with, but it's just like, I don't know, I don't feel comfortable
You
being
took the prude advertising package.
I did, exactly, yeah. So now we just do boring stuff.
Right. Oh, ads.
Yeah, but also all of that could change depending on what it is,
That's true.
and how much money they offer.
How much money they
Anyway,
offer.
what's next?
The end of the show is what's next.
Oh
I'll tell you
my
that much.
God.
Folks, thank you so much for listening. We absolutely appreciate it. Did we actually do a podcast, or did I zone out on my migraine and we didn't actually do anything?
We did one.
Okay, great. That's true.
Yeah, you didn't say much. This is
good.
the first time you've spoken the entire time.
Oh, no.
No, it's fine.
Okay,
I covered.
Yeah, nice, thanks. Folks, we very much appreciate you sticking around, and we appreciate you telling your friends about the podcast.
Yeah.
And leaving a review, a 5-star review on your podcast catcher of choice. You do it in app, and we'll read it out on the podcast.
And here's one.
We'll read out anything, by the way. If it's 5 stars, we'll read it
Absolutely.
out.
Justinato129 who says 5 stars. I got you a listener.
I got you a listener.
I was able to get my fiance to not only recognize the names James and Mason. She now regularly watches Caravan of Garbage. I've been a fan of the podcast and YouTube channel for a while now and very happy to get someone else on board. This is the daily fix of my life since high school. Daily.
Ooh,
Doubling up.
That's pretty good.
Appreciate that.
Now, let me ask you this, James. If somebody left a 5-star review and then put in an ad for their own podcast, would we read it out?
Yeah, whatever. I'll do
Speaking of
that.
ads, we'll do it.
definitely,
We'll do
100%.
it.
Well, how's this one? I'll read this out.
Or just an in-joke that's like, hey, Dave, get your skates on and go down the park, you idiot, or whatever. And we'd be like,
Well, funny you
Good.
should say that because this 5-star review is from Luke's friend Mark Johnson, who says, worth it even if you don't speak Australian. Dear Luke, my trip was great. Thanks for praying. No joke. The trip was so good that I live here now.
love it.
Well done, Luke.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That is perfect. And now he's going to have to convince his friend to listen to the podcast because we've read that out.
Exactly.
I think that's cool.
And thank you, Mark Johnson.
That's right. Folks, if you want to get into contact with the show, you can go to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. You can go to Facebook, Twitter, or Bandcamp. You
Yeah,
can go to
man.
the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group. You can go to the Weekly Planet Podcast subreddit and Discord if you want to have fun civil chats about podcasts and all forms of pop culture. Thank you to Marty and Sarabi and Maisie and Fidel.
They're keeping the peace.
They're keeping the peace
Out
over there.
there.
Not so much Marty anymore because she became a lawyer or something.
That's true. Well, she's keeping the peace in a different way.
That's right.
Yeah,
Getting criminals off.
that's right. Good.
Yeah, good. I think so too. Also, thanks to our friend Rob Collins. He's doing all that stuff and
He is.
more. He's editing this podcast.
All these people do more things than
They
you would
do.
know,
They do the
yeah.
TikToks. They do the Clips channel. All sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm,
Rob Collins edits this podcast. He keeps you up to date on Weekly Planet News over at Weekly Planet, the Weekly Planet on Twitter.
That's right.
He's also at Raw Collins on Twitter. He'll do a video.
Yeah.
He'll do all sorts of stuff.
He'll do a video.
You follow him first and foremost. You can also follow me at Wikipedia Brand on Twitter and Nick Mason on Instagram. James is Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere.
Yeah.
If you want to support the show, you go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. Chuck in a buck or an amount you would not miss.
Yep.
But if you're a big spender, you can go to bigsandwich.co. Sign up, $9 per month, bonus podcast, movie commentaries, early videos, video
if you-
game let's plays, all sorts of stuff.
If you don't want it to be ongoing, you can leave at any time.
Thank you to the Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all our musical themes. Buy some t-shirts over at tpublic.com. Search for The Weekly Planet. Get a
I agree.
thing. That's right.
Next week, the thing. One man. One Gumby man.
Gumby Man. The grottiest Gumby Man
He's
of
not
the
that
seas.
grotty. Yeah.
Okay.
He wants to be the Pirate King, which is all things I knew before because I've seen all 1,000-ish episodes and read them. I read them.
Keep talking.
Too. I don't need. What do you need? I don't want to
Just more
spoil
information.
it. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Okay,
One
yeah.
guy's a metal jaw.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is actually cool.
I knew that, but now you know that too.
That's right.
All right, thanks everyone.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.